Hello. We got a good topic to go over. We got another consultation gig. Of course, you know that. Hey, if you need support with your system, or you're building a home, or you're just starting to plan to go solar, bless you now, you're probably going to want to hit me up and get a third-party opinion, right? Even if I'm not here to give you a quote, it's still worth the time to at least get that opinion from a non-biased party. Trust me, my goal is to try and just solve the solution if there's a particular brand you want or not. Yeah, I kind of got a farmer's tan going on. I got the tank top on. Oh, man, look how dark. Like, you can see how dark my skin gets between the lines. It's like my arms are like toast. But I've been out canvassing, doing business-to-business stuff. It looks like we may have nailed 2, maybe 3 more businesses here locally. A barbecue, 2 barbecue stores, and then a barber shop. The barber shop's for sure. So shout out to David the barber. Look forward to shooting your location and all your barbers next week. So yeah, good for that. It sucks I had to push Dr. Cantor on his 2D photos, but that's not really my thing. That was like an adder that Amy sold you on as part of like the virtual experience. So it's fine. It's totally fine. But since it's a free adder, the universe, in my experience, anytime I give a service away for free, there's a paid service that's usually worth more of my time that occurs. I don't know why. That's just the way the universe works for me. I'm very thankful for that, and God in many different ways. But anyways, let's talk about this consultation and what some of the problems are. So this is a massive build going on. We have a main house, lots of stuff. We have a secondary home, an ADU with lots of stuff, and we have a split 400 amp service. You know what I mean by split is we have 200 amps, one for each building. And the problem that ends up occurring with those 400 amp services is there's no residential equipment that supports it backup wise. I'm kind of surprised Tesla hasn't come out with a 400 amp transfer switch. I could see them doing it. Oh, man, if you guys did it. But yeah, you can't use the backup gateway switches, right? Those are only rated for up to 200 amps, sadly. So not much you can do about that. You're stuck using automatic transfer switches, which a lot of them are rated at 200 amps. There are some 400 amp. I'm not saying there aren't 400 amp transfer switches, but they tend to be only for generators. They're not typically designed for solar and storage. So that's kind of where the dilemma lies. On this site, we have a very large solar, about 40 panels ground mount. The location in which they want it installed, though, is like 400 feet. It's a little under that, but it's roughly 400 feet from the main house. Oh, look at the husky over there. Fine. So, yeah, the distance becomes problematic because then I have to kind of configure, I need to make sure that the equipment that I use down below, because I'm not going to run DC all the way up to the main house. That ain't going to happen. We're going to keep an inverter down there. So it limits what I can do. And then he wants a generator. Right? Well, Tesla gets knocked out of this competition because Tesla doesn't support generator integration. They have it for downstream. So I could do it, but it would be downstream integration. And even so, I do see problems with me trying to use Tesla solar inverters, let alone Tesla Powerwall units down at the ground mount and then running number 1, because that's what I need to run, is basically number 1 up to the main house. I can do number 2, but I'm going to lean more towards number 1, so I reduce that voltage drop as much as possible, because voltage is very important in backup systems. That's how most of these sites they're running with current transformers. They're reading the voltage, they're reading the current, and if your voltage is in a weird range, like 230, 228, and it's supposed to be closer to 238, 240, 242, right? And that would be a normal 240 volt site. It's going to cause issues with the production, and it's also going to cause issues with the backup system. So those are things that I'm, accounting for. So I'm running through these, I'm thinking about it, and then I'm leaning towards Franklin. Then I'm like, okay, if I did Franklin and I did string inverters down below, okay, well, let's look at the string inverters. What are my dilemmas with the string inverters? Can't fit number ones, can't fit number twos. Most string inverters, like the Tesla Solar inverters, the maximum wire size on the AC inputs is number 6. These are the things that I think about. That's what's important when you consult with me. Even if you're an existing contractor and you have a complex job and you're relying on your engineer doesn't always think about, like, he's like, oh yeah, you need to use number 2 or you need to use number 1. He may not think about whether or not the fucking equipment will work with that wire. And then what do contractors do in the field? They start pulling wire, they start breaking pieces off so it can fit in there. No. You should have thought about that in the beginning, right? That's where someone like me comes into play. Shout out to Cool Air Solutions. How's it going? Oh, good. Yeah, getting some good exposure, right? Cool Air Solutions, heating and air conditioning. Yeah. You guys got a nice truck? Well, van, but yeah, nice and clean. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'll reach out to you guys. Yeah. I bet, have a good night. So I am looking at expanding with other businesses so that way I can encompass more on the consulting, because I overthink stuff. Not necessarily overthink stuff, but I think about stuff. And I've been training some AI modules specific to this solar field, so that way, I have projects that are designated for this type of. Oh, look at him. He's kind of rolling around. He's doing his own little thing. Oh yeah, I had to put his ear stuff in his ears. I was a bad dad, and I got my left and the right mixed up, and I put it in his right ear first. It was only like a half a pump, and I'm like, oh fuck, that's the wrong ear. I'm like, it's not gonna hurt anything. Let's rub it in. And then I had to do the left ear with the normal pump. Like, ugh. So he got his little ear infection stuff in both ears. But anyways, this is the stuff I'm mulling over. This is why so many homeowners and businesses have distilled their trust in me, because they know the value of my knowledge, my experience, and my brain. It really comes down to how my brain works, and it works in a very complex manner that, trust me, I don't even understand. I just know it's there. Right? And I didn't take all my vitamins today, so I'm running a little bit faster than normal, which worked out perfectly because, I landed some new contracts and I got a new consultation gig on a new construction home. So I'm loving it right now. This is the stuff I live for, is to help people, make sure that they have a clean project. I also reached out to Sargent Electric, because I worked with him on another project for new construction. He was a great electrician, and it sounds like he'll be used possibly on these other projects. And if so, I'm going to need to make sure he gets certified. I've already talked to Tesla about it because I wasn't sure on the second project coming through just how soon it was going to come through. But I know on that first project I was going to be using Tesla solar inverters. Very basic project, simple ground mount. Remember I complained about it being 8 panels. But we did a Tesla solar inverter 7.6, so it's ready for expansion or replacement with a Powerwall 3. The unit's not so far away from the main house. It's less than 150 feet, which is well within range for CAN bus, which Tesla knows is well within spec. And they don't even have to replace the inverter. They could put a Powerwall 3 at the main house, and I'm going to pre-run. This is stuff because I'm going to be consulting on the job site with whoever's doing the work. But we're going to pre-run communication cabling and an Ethernet cord, because we want to make sure that inverter still has internet. So I'm going to make sure there's internet down there for future equipment, and that there's also CAN bus already ran down there for future expansion and communication with other technology. So those are the things I'm thinking about, and that's why people hire me, and that's why you want to hire me. Whether you're a solar installer, whether you're an electrician, whatever you're doing, you're a homeowner or a builder. Patrick, you okay? He's having a reverse sneezer. You okay? He's okay. Yeah. If he has a reverse sneezer, I gotta cover his nose. It's almost like you're starving it, suffocating him. But anyways, so I reached out to Sargent. He's like, oh yeah, I can get certified. Just tell me what I need to do, and I'll do it, or I'll have one of my guys do it, one of my other electricians, my apprentices. And it's like, cool, no problem. It's pretty straightforward. With that site, yeah, he's got to do the Tesla stuff, and then he should get the Generac certification. Generac's the one that's a little weird with the generator support, because Generac doesn't technically require you to be certified to install the equipment, but they reduce the standard warranties if you do install it without a certified Generac technician or electrician. I don't know. So it's just one of those things. Oh, bumpers. Wow, look at this bike. That's a nice bike. A little Ninja Kawasaki. That's a clean bike. Got new body paneling. Looks like they're probably loading it up to go get painted. So, yeah. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, Sargent Electric. Yeah, so he's no problem with that. I'm going to email him over the link so he gets pre-certified before even any of this stuff comes up. And it's going to help him too. He can market that he's Tesla Energy certified. So if he has projects that come up and he wants to do some work, like I told him, like, hey, hit me up. I'm happy to help you with this stuff. I can come out to the job site. I can help do the plan designs with you. I got an engineer for that stuff. It's not a big deal. I can help get you quotes and for the equipment, right? I can make it really easy for you so you can do what you want to do. And that's the beauty of working with me, is that I want to work with all of you, all of the electricians out there, and help you guys work the best angles and figure this out and know that this system that I put together for you is perfect for the customer and perfect for you. It's not going to have any issues. I'm not guaranteeing that's all going to be the case, because I like to, experiment with products, but we'll make sure to disclose that to the customer if they open to experimenting with unique products. But at the same token, I'm going to advise the customer if it's a product's not compatible. I definitely wouldn't sell someone a span split system, because it looks pretty, but it ain't pretty. Technologically speaking, it's a very unique configuration. If you're going to do one Powerwall 3 with an expansion battery and a span panel, sure. But the second you want to do a second unit, it ain't worth it. It's going to go poops. So, Look at the nice turf. Look at how good this lawn looks. This is some awesome landscaping. And this is where it's like, we don't have any smart home automation stuff in here, but you could. Philips Hue has some really nice outdoor stuff. I'd love to work with a landscaping company to smart light the outdoors. Realistically. But this house is really nice. I do like this one. They got like the paint and everything. It's a clean setup. So going like that. Come on, Nugs. Or if you poop again. So anyways, I'm going to email Sargent Electric so that way he has some stuff. I think he's based here in Temecula, so if you're looking for an electrician, he's definitely got great reviews online. I'd recommend him. I'm going to double check with Blalock and New Day to see if these projects are going to be within their scope and what kind of pricing we might be looking at. Obviously, the homeowner and the builder are looking for recommendations from me. So I'm going to recommend people that I trust. I know Blalock does good work. They did a project in LA and they knocked it out. They passed inspection in one fucking try. No hiccups, nothing. I can't say the same for other installers. Energy Service Partner. Anyways, I don't even know why they loop me in on the bullshit. I don't even want to be looped in on their fucking emails or their text messages to the customer with their excuses for stuff. I mean, it's finally passed inspection, and now it's just pending NEM. It's like, okay, whatever. Shouldn't have taken this long in the first place, but I guess you guys are the professionals, right? And I'm just some fucking dipshit. Yep, the consumers see it that way too, huh? That's why they keep calling me. anyways, I'm here for you guys. You're gonna have to pay for it. Consultations aren't free. Little stuff is free, like, hey, I had someone reach out. And I've been having a lot of weird stuff. Some of it I think it's spam or phishing, but I digress. That's just me being me. I'm always like that. And at the end of the day, they sold this quick. This thing went quick. So, really nice house. Really nice couple that lives here too. So, anyways. I don't know where the mic is at. Right there. Yeah, okay. So let's get back to this larger project, because this one's much more complex than the other one. The other one we figured out, we're using Generac for the backup. That's what the homeowner wanted. We're putting the generator down at the ground mount. Not a big deal. We're using Generac's. They have a smart relay that works, so that way we can just back up the whole electric panel with the solar, and when a power outage occurs, that smart relay is going to disable the solar equipment. So technically the site's ready for a solar backup system, a battery backup system, if the next homeowners want to do it, or these homeowners change their mind. You never know. So, but this larger site, having just under 20 kilowatts, has a lot more going on. And I'm not sure if I want to use just 430 watt modules, or if we want to use, well, they got some bocce balls. Those are nice. There we go. Oh yeah, some wood to burn. Anyways, nope, we're not crisscrossing. Hey, come back over here. Come back over here. Patrick. So leash. Goodness. Anyways. Oh, punk. Anyways, so yeah, we're looking at 17.2. If I use Q cells, Qtron 430 watt modules, most likely I will, because they're probably going to be around for the next 6 months to a year. I'm not going to see a refresh on them, and if we do, it's going to be a light refresh. We shouldn't see too much inventory change out over the next year, but we have to just wait and see. Typically with a ground mount, your goal is to reduce how many modules you need, but it's also a balancing act, since I'm going to be splitting the system between two homes. And it's like, well, how much power needs to go to the ADU? How much power do you need for the main house? And we have a lot of loads. And it's all electric. So we have electric hot water heaters. We have electric, obviously, air conditioning. I believe they're going to be using mini splits, but maybe they might be using heat pumps. I got to relook over the plans. I know I have the load calcs on it, and it's a lot. It's a lot. So I'm thinking on the main house, since they want the pool equipment backed up, which is going to be part of the main house, and it has a little casita thing, we're probably going to be leaning towards 3 A-Power 2s. Yes, you guessed it. We're going to be doing Franklin whole home batteries on this site. And the reason being is they're the only ones I'm going to be able to do with the generator. Their transfer switches, the A gate 2, support that. And that's really nice. So I can use Generac. I can do a 22 or 26 kilowatt generator on it. With Generac, the homeowner wants to go with something else, we can see. Briggs & Stratton has some great motors as well. I just don't know if distribution carries much of that in stock. So that's where it's going to be a little interesting. And then how the builder wants to approach it. If they want the electricians to do all the work, then here I am, to work out the BOMs for these sites as well. And so, do I want to look at Rexel? Do I want to work with CED Green Tech? It's just, there's a lot of other distributors in the industry. There's Baywa, and they want business, right? So right now, sure, I'm only consulting on 2 jobs, but that's 2 more jobs that that distributor gets to have if they're generous and they work well with me, right? So I've worked with Green Tech for a long time. you know, I do get a little iffy sometimes on them, but that's just me. But then again, it's, you know, you got a sixth sense, so fucking use it to your advantage. Don't if something don't feel right, just fucking, you know, do whatever you want to do, I guess. Yeah, this is a nice van. This thing's in good shape. Tires are in good shape. The ladder racks are nice. And then that's what you want to see. The trucks are taken care of. You know, what's really nice is you want to check the inside, see how clean the inside is. You know, because that's going to be a representation of the contractor. If the inside of our trucks is just a fucking madhouse, it's all dirty and, you know, the trucks aren't ever cleaned, there's no good representation then. So, yeah. So that's one way to look at contractors sometimes. I mean, it's a one-man band, it's a little different. I do a lot of different things, obviously. So we're going to use Enphase microinverters down below. And this was, the only reason I decided to do that was because the IQ combiner boxes, if I use one, I will likely use one because I should be able to. I'm going to have to talk with Enphase on it. I got to double check. But I should be able to use one Envoy for all the modules, all the micros. And then since I'm using Franklin, they don't communicate with each other. They're just looking at voltage and current running through the lines. So the combiner box supports up to 2 watt on its lugs. And that's, you know, that's more than I need. I'm looking for number 2, number 1, which I can't get out of a string inverter. Not going to get that out of an SMA. Not going to get that out of a Fronius. Not going to get that out of this Tesla solar inverter. I mean, I might be able to get it out of a Fronius or Solar Edge, but I don't think so. I wouldn't be opposed to Solar Edge on it. And then I had 2 string inverters down there. And actually, yeah, because that would see, this is because how I'm going to split up the array. I'm going to do, since I got 40 modules, I'm going to do 26-14. So I'm doing 2/3 and 1/3 in the configuration. And it's a nice little setup. And it should work pretty well at the end of the day. So I'm going to put, you know, 26 modules, something along those lines on the main house. Maybe we do 25 and 15. It's just, as a matter of finding the balance between the houses. There's only going to be 1 meter. So if it was going to be 2 meters, I might split the system more evenly, but we're not looking at 2 meters. So, smell anything good? So basically I'm looking at a 2/3, 1/3 split, and I should be able to use one Envoy in terms of the communication, and that should simplify it. Alternatively, if I go with Solar Edge, I am curious if I can have them piggyback off of each other in terms of the communication. Then I run one Ethernet cable down there. Again, the Franklin doesn't care what it's connected to from an inverter standpoint for the solar, because it's an AC coupled battery. But outside of that, you just kind of got to think about it a little bit. Oh, nice big old loogie nugs. Because he gets snot and he gets allergies. Big old loogie. Anyways, I might have to think about that a little bit. Do I want to go with Solar Edge? Fronius and SMA are hard to get sourced. That's why it's like, there's other products out there I wouldn't mind using, but good luck getting them. Good luck getting them locally. Unless you buy the shit online, which you're not going to get a good distribution price from them. Right? And they're listed online, like a Tesla solar inverter, listed online for like $2,000. The inverter's like $1,100, you know? So, I don't know the exact price. Last time I recall, which was like a year ago, it was like around $1,100. How's it going? That's good. I'm good. I'm just walking the dog. Thanks. So, just getting through some stuff. Oh, puppers. How's it going? So anyways, trying to figure that out. I might change the inverter, but it's irrelevant, right? At the end of the day, I am looking at trying to, reduce, keep costs minimal, keep servicing simplified, and longevity as much as possible. Doing microinverters, they tend to have a higher failure rate. We can argue about this all fucking day long. They have a higher failure rate, in my opinion, than a string inverter. And while Solar Edge does have some service issues, if you got 2 cents to you, you should be able to solve some of these problems yourself. Restarting the Solar Edge inverter on your own, going through a particular boot sequence, how to do that. A lot of this shit should just be on their fucking website. So, or the installer should be programming their own AI to optimize tool. I can help you guys with that. I can fucking help you with that. So if you're a solar installer, you're a service department, let's start building you guys an AI tool that remembers what the installer last did on a project, so that way you can reference it in the future. You'll have your own AI tool, so you don't have to rely on the manufacturer always for stuff. I'm telling you, it's doable. I've been training mine. A ton. So it's just one of those things. I had a random client text me from the past. He has a Q-Cell Q-Home ESS G1. It's a first gen hybrid inverter from Q-Cell, which was white labeled, bullshit ass white labeled stuff. Q-Cell swore up and down it was their own shit, partnered with Samsung on it. I don't even know what's real anymore with Q-Cell when it comes to their batteries. But yeah, that first gen was unique, to say the least. And I knew it was white labeled the second I got the first unit, and literally when you went to log into it, it still had the main manufacturer's Solex's info in it. If you wanted to connect to commission it, it would still have Solex's info. It was like, wow, you guys were really fucking lazy about this shit. Didn't even change the software. Okay. So anyways, he had some issues, so I ran that, through my module, so that way I had details on it, and bam, I sent him over the link for him to do it and told him, look, if you want me to come out there's a charge. You can go to my website and do it. It's definitely not a warranty thing. Otherwise, I would have, referred you over to the original installer, who I don't work with. So, but that's just one of those things. How's it going? Oh.
Sorry.
You're good. No sorries.
I love your dog.
Oh, thanks. Oh. I was getting there. Well, I thought you were further back, I guess. Anyways, so yeah, we gotta figure out some of the details on the inverter. I gotta nail the inverter first, and then I already know I'm going with Franklin, because it's gonna be the only solution I have in reference to being able to do the generator integration, because Enphase is the alternative. But Enphase won't work. It's too far away. I've ran through some of the analogies already in my head, and the distance to 400 feet is a killer for Enphase. PLC is an issue. CAN bus is an issue. The Envoy is the brains of the system. I could do the Enphase proxy, which is this newer, feature where it's localized, but I don't want to fuck around for 10 days or 2 weeks or a year with the site and have constant inconsistencies with readings and units not working and software updates failing. So my goal is to build you a reliable system, since these idiots don't know how to design them to be reliable. So when you work with me, trust me, I don't want to fuck around with it. I want it to make sure it works. And as long as you're open to the equipment that works for whatever your preference is, then that's what I'm going to give you. So these clients are open to whatever. They just, the first project, she just didn't want, she didn't want microinverters. She doesn't even want the solar system, but I was like, okay, well, I can't give you that. So we went with the Tesla Solar inverter because I know it's a tried and true inverter. It comes with a 12.5-year warranty. It's liquid cooled, which is perfect for being in a ground mount and then down and below. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. You want to go through the front door or the back door, Nugs? What do you want to do? So stay tuned. Be sure to subscribe to the channel because as these projects progress, McManus is going to be having me come out to the sites, and I'll be consulting with the electricians. I'll be overseeing these parts of the project and doing other things. That's what they're hiring me to do. So and trust me, I'm not that expensive. I mean, unless you're like in a different state, then it can start getting expensive. But outside of that, no, we're pretty clear. You good, Nugs? Well, most of my pricing is public. I'm not here to hide it and charge one guy one number and another guy another number. I just think that kind of bullshit is just retarded. But yeah, I'm going to rethink Solar Edge, see what we can do. And like I said, I wouldn't mind using Fronius. Trust me, Fronius, if you guys watch this, I wouldn't mind using your equipment. The problem is, where do I get it besides online? I think some of these manufacturers need to consider selling direct, putting your shit on Amazon. SolarEdge has it. SolarEdge actually has their own Amazon account. You can go to Amazon and find SolarEdge optimizers and equipment. It says sold by who? SolarEdge. Why don't you guys do that? You're not trying to bypass distribution, but if distribution doesn't even carry your shit and other people want it, at least you can list it online at a fair price that's going to be competitive. You don't have to list it at the full MSRP, right? Because there's the MSRP price and there's distribution pricing. There's contractor pricing in the middle. So usually contractors get a special price. And who's to say that you don't give that contractor a special code they could use to check out? That's what we did in the skateboarding industry. So Supra, my cousin Tim was sponsored by them, and he had a code that when we went to a Supra, we could go and get like 30 to 50% off on shoes, on shirts, on hats, all sorts of stuff. So I used that to my advantage. I bought like $1,500 worth of Supra gear for like $700. Like, I got so many different shoes. And they were good shoes too. I didn't buy them just because I got a discount. I've had discounts like that before from Ruka, but never from. And I got them from skate shops. Skate shops would give them to me, but that was before we had like the internet, So to see how Super was doing it, I know you can do promo codes. Maybe you guys don't necessarily sell on Amazon. Maybe you have it built into your website. Let's figure this out. It shouldn't be that hard. To make sure your equipment's accessible to the contractors that want to use it and design with it. Because I wouldn't mind considering higher power output inverters because I would like to just have two, right? I'm splitting the system in 2/3, 1/3. So I got like a 6 kilowatt system and I got like a 10, 11 kilowatt system. So if I had a 10 kilowatt inverter and a 7.6 kilowatt inverter, that works. I don't really want to do a 7.6. If I do, yeah, anyways, with SolarEdge, I can split it. I can do 11.4 and a 7.6, and that wouldn't be too bad, honestly. So I might talk to Megan about that. So, but yeah, I'm at least considering Enphase for the project. My only concern is just, PLC. That was my thing for the distance. It basically ruled it out. And yeah, I can't use SolarEdge for backup because they don't support generator. Fronius doesn't support generator backup yet. Generac, they won't support it for another 6 months to a year on their new Power Cell 2. I already talked to them when I was discussing the generator smart relay for the solar aspect of it. I do my due diligence. I call these guys. I call them and ask them the stupid questions. I'm not afraid to call because I don't know. And I don't just trust the shit I read online. That's the big difference when you consult with me is I'm going to do the work for you. That's what you're paying me to do. So that way like this shit works and you look like the star, right? And it's like, yeah, it was designed by Dale. DBD, designed by Dale. So use the links down in the description below. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. And I can't wait to show off these projects when they start to get built. right? And show off some of the electricians that we're going to be working with. And like I said, I'm going to be talking to Blalock about this jobs because the general already asked me like, hey, you know, I do want to get other quotes. I was looking at Sargent Electric. I know he's a good guy, and he is. The dude does good work, and he's spot on. So, and I want to work with other guys too. So he wants to, you know, make sure he has some good solar guys in his pipeline. Obviously, he trusts me with this aspect of the project, and he's trusting me to help him find some other potential bids for the project. So if you're a contractor in the Temecula-Murrieta area and you're looking for some extra work and you believe you're a qualified individual that, you know, is going to meet a standard that I have set, and you're not going to dick around and you're going to fucking follow orders in a manner in which is professional, because I'm not here to fucking boss you around. I'm here to tell you like, hey, this is how it should be, right? It should be professional. It should be clean. It should have not necessarily pride, but, you know, I think pride is evil. So it's written in the Bible that way. So it's not so much to be prideful as much as it is to, you know, have care in the work that you do. I have a lot of care for the things that I do, and I have a lot of care for those that I design these systems for. So I want to work with you, and I hope you want to work with me. And, you know, at the end of the day, I'm going to cut the contractors that are shit. And, you know, I'm going to tell you, like, yeah, this fucking contractor, like Energy Service Partners, ESP, 8 months in LA. It was a solar only project with microinverters. It had an electrical panel upgrade. It didn't go well, you know, and then I had a second job with them that ended up just canceling itself out because they dragged their feet over some HOA bullshit. And then that was it. They just expect the sales guys to keep doing anything. You know, and then they try and backcharge you and shit. And it's like, you guys are fucking pieces of shit, let me tell you. Good luck staying in business. But anyways, hope you have a great day. God loves you. I love you. And